Hi, hello, my awesome squad. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. This is Au-somemom, and today I'm back with another video. Now, I'm going to be talking about the early signs of autism in 2-year-olds, right? And I'll mention a bit about Kasani because that's when I found out officially that he's autistic. And so I'm just going to go through a few of the signs. Now, most of these signs, your child may show one or two of them, but that does not mean that he's autistic. I'm not a doctor. I'm just sharing my experiences. So if you have concerns, it's best to talk to your family pediatrician or your doctor. Now, one of the first signs that I noticed at 2 years old was that he wasn't responding to his name. So when you said Kasani, he wouldn't look, he wouldn't budge. So it would almost look as if he was a deaf child. But I know he was hearing because he was using his tablet and he was looking around and he was watching TV. So I know he wasn't deaf, but that was one of the first signs that I noticed with him, was that he wasn't responding to his name. All right. Another thing was he had little to no eye contact with you. And when I mean no eye contact at all, you could hold his face and look him in the eye, and if you look at his pupils, you'd see that they weren't looking at you. So even though you had his face literally in front of you, he wasn't giving you any eye contact. And when family and friends came to visit or they tried to make much of him and play with him, he turned his head or he wouldn't look. And you say, "Hi, Kasani." He didn't look. He didn't flinch any at all. So that was also another sign for concern. Now, all of those are just two so far that I'm mentioning. But with those two, in my mind, I'm saying, oh my gosh, what is wrong with this child? And I would go on Google and I'd read up, but I didn't want it to be true. But then I said, let me find out what's wrong. So let's do a hearing test to see and get the professional to tell me that his hearing is okay. Okay, another sign is that they don't show any empathy at all. So when you pretend, I would pretend to cry and he wouldn't even notice me. I'm there, this whole huge cow bawling, wow! And the child didn't even look at me. The regular kids would come and they'd look and they'd touch and you see that facial expression, wondering what's wrong. Well, Kasani didn't show any eye contact sorry guys, he didn't show me empathy. It's recently now that Kasani has started to show a bit of empathy. Now, I got my first hug when he turned 3, and that was really, it melted my heart. But now when I say kiss, he'll come and he'll kiss, and I say big hug and I stretch my arms out like this and he just comes running into my arms. So that is an amazing feeling. And you know what else he does when you're in your comfort zone? Say you're lying down and you're relaxing, he'll come on your back, or he'll come and lay right here on your chest, and then he pushes his head up and he goes, and that's just amazing. So recently I'm seeing a little bit of improvement, because you know, with autism, every single child is different. No child is the same. So, and they all make their small improvements in small strides, slowly. So that's good because he's taking his time. All right, another sign is that they don't point or they don't bring your attention to anything at all. So I remember I was going to Ucherius with him, and I was in the car, and there was another parent there with their child, looked around the same age, and he was showing his mommy, look. And you know, I felt a bit, sad, because I know that Kasani doesn't point, he doesn't show me anything, and when I bring his attention to it to say look, he doesn't do it at all. So he doesn't point, he doesn't bring my attention to anything, he still doesn't point. But now when I stop him and I prompt him and I'll say, let's look at this flower if we're outside or anything like that, and I show him, it may take a while, but he does give his attention, if it's even for 2 seconds, but I'm grateful for that. Another thing is that they don't talk. He wasn't talking. Yes, he was singing nursery rhymes. Before 2, he was singing a few nursery rhymes, and yeah, I was happy that he was singing. But at 2, I expected him to be, even though he did babble, so he passed that milestone. 9 months he was babbling, but he didn't talk. He didn't say any first words like mama and dada. I'm still waiting to hear mama. So he didn't use his words. What I noticed now though is that even though he's not using his words, he does talk to himself. So you'll see him in the videos, guys, and he's saying his ABCs, he's counting, he knows his colors, but he doesn't engage me to say mama come. But what I do notice now, that is that if I call him to say come, he does come to me. And if he's outside and I say come inside, come Kasani, I try to use small phrases. So I say come Kasani and he will come running. When he gets inside, I'll say close the door, he closes the door. So I know that, language is receptive also. So in his own way, he's understanding and communicating with me, even though he's not talking to me. He understands when I say come. So those are a few things that he will respond to. Before this, he wasn't responding any at all. When we did the assessments, he wasn't responding any at all. He wasn't using any words or anything like that. So that's another sign, when they're not talking, they're not repeating, because he really wasn't repeating words either. He was just there. But no, it is amazing to watch him come, and he comes, and if he's all the way in the back and you say Kasani, you hear the little pitter patter coming, and when you hear those little footsteps coming, it really melts your heart, because you know that every day is one step closer to a victory. And so slowly but surely he's going to be able to communicate, because it's not something that will go away. It's with him for the rest of his life. It's just that he needs to understand, and he needs to understand the world and how to get around as he gets older. So it's not that autism is going to go away. It's just that I want him to be able to communicate, understand, and do everything to help himself, so he's not really dependent on anybody. Now, there were also some behavioral differences that he displayed. He did a lot of those and he started out early, because by the time he was walking around and he was able to play with toys, he was displaying these types of behavior. So he was lining up stuff all over the house. Every single thing he could get his hand on. If it was straws, he'll line them up. Cars, blocks, everything. Teddy bears. And He'll line them up in circles, sometimes straight in a line, and that's what he would do. So that's another thing to look for those early signs. You watch them. And then they also have this awkward gaze when they're looking at stuff. They'll go at an angle, because sometimes when he lines his stuff up, he puts himself this way and he looks to ensure. I really don't know what he's looking for, but that's what he does. So that's also another sign. Another sign is that sensitivity. After the assessment, I found out his sensitivity was why he was not willing to try certain foods. But the thing is that Kasani was trying foods. We gave him baby food in the early stages. From around 5 months up, he was having mashed potatoes, fruits, veggies. Yes, and he was on his first birthday, I kid you not, I took him to KFC. I have a video with him eating a chicken leg. So he really was eating, but after the assessment I found out why he's not able to try different foods, or why he's not comfortable at all trying different foods, was his sensitivity. So they also do have sensitivity to light and sound and texture and all of those. He's having sensitivity to textures, that's why he's not trying different foods. He's also having sensitivity to sounds. So a lot of times Kasani is like this. So most times you'll see him in his headphones, because those help to block out the added sounds. Because from what I've read, I understand that when we hear, I am able to block out the smallest sound and just focus on when somebody else is talking to me. But it's difficult for him, because when you're talking to him, he's hearing you. He's hearing the fan sound in the background. He's hearing the breeze. He's hearing the paper. He's hearing the click of the phone. He hears everything. So sensitivity to texture, light, and sound, that's another sign to look for. And Kasani is really improving in regards to that. He doesn't play with my light switch as much. Well, I set up that sensory corner for him with that light, and he absolutely loves it. He'll lie down there and he'll look at the light, and as you change the colors, he's fascinated with it. With the food though, slowly but surely, I don't know, we'll get there somehow. But what my problem is, I'm not sure if he's getting the right nutrition. So even though I give him gummies for vitamins, and he's having the cheese, he's having the juice. I've tried blending, but you have to be careful what you blend, because I don't know, his taste buds are on point. So once it doesn't taste like what he's used to, he's not going to have it. So yes, those are a few signs to look at. Thing was his sensitivity to food, to the texture of foods. So he just has certain foods that he eats. Cheese, he drinks his milk, and some cheese snack, and he'll have ripe banana occasionally. So guys, Basically, that was Kasani before. I'm going to do another video showing how he has improved, show you the progress he's made. So those are a few signs you can look out for. I didn't really make much of some of the signs. Now that I'm becoming aware and doing my research, having done my assessments, I'm now aware that was why he was displaying some of those signs. He was also doing a lot of stimming and stuff like that, the hand flapping of his ears, spinning around. So now that I know, I can share with you and share with others. Thank you for watching and see you soon.